Okay. If you now stay with me here, because this is going to be kind of a weird situation to describe someone potentially being in. But if you are standing on a very high bridge and you're about to maybe jump off of it because of the fact that we just won this game and fell to somewhere in the draft, I didn't even want to know where we fell to. I don't want to know. And you happen to be listening to me as you're about to end it all, don't do it just yet. Because we got to just talk over some scenarios that this puts us in now that we won a game. I was going to say that maybe we shouldn't have won, but Jacksonville's terrible. We clearly have the advantage at quarterback. Raiders beat the Jags 19-14. First win since September. And now we have fallen in the draft order, and the odds of us getting one of the top two picks is not great. Now, was I rooting for us to lose this game? I mean, how do I answer that? I wasn't actively rooting for us to lose as the game was happening, but I can acknowledge, I'm a human being with arms, legs, and a brain, that it would probably be better for us in the long run to have a higher draft pick. I could also acknowledge that we are dealing with human beings playing football. And if you're Aiden O'Connell, who's heard the owner talk about Tom Brady getting ready to pick a new quarterback, and has probably read on Twitter or Instagram all these mock drafts and all these, fans rooting for us to lose and rooting for Aiden's downfall, you are going to do everything in your power to try to win that football game. And Aiden O'Connell today was very good. He scrambled consistently. Everyone told me he was a statue. Idiots. He made some great plays. He had some bad passes, just like every other quarterback. No interceptable balls. We struggled to convert on third down. We couldn't really want to run the ball with any sort of consistency, but Aiden did enough to win this football game. Whether or not you like it, those are the facts of the situation. The defense forced a couple fumbles. Brock Bowers is unbelievable. He's going to break the rookie receiving record. And now we are not in the best position possible in the draft. So here's a couple things that I have to say. Thing one, just because you win a game with 3 games to go doesn't mean you're not going to have the first or second pick. There are 2 games to go. People didn't think we were going to win a game. We won a game. The Giants or the Browns could win a game they're not supposed to. The Browns sneaky almost were competitive with the Bengals today. I don't know what their remaining schedule is. We'll see. Another issue that we might run into is that we play the Saints next week, who are probably worse than the Jags. Now, that's in New Orleans, so we'll see what happens. But that's another winnable game. And then Week 18 is a division rival. You never know with that game either. So that's the first thing, is that you don't know where we're going to pick. The second thing is, it's unfortunate that this seems to be the season where 3 wins can get you pick 6. Usually that's like a lock top 3 pick. Now it's like the bottom half of the NFL is so bad this year, whether or not you do have your future franchise quarterback like the Patriots or the Panthers, that 3 wins can get you pick 7. Now, we'll see what happens. We've got a lot of season left to play. There's 2 more very important games, strength of schedule, blah, blah, blah. It's not our fault that the NFL has been really bad this year with the below-average teams. And lastly, look, I'm not going to go back. Would I be okay with drafting a quarterback? Yes. Would I prefer it? Probably. However, there is no denying that people have said this is a weak quarterback class. Shedeur Sanders, in a lot of people's eyes, would have been the 4th or 5th quarterback picked in this past draft, which means that Cam Ward probably wouldn't have been picked before the first 6 quarterbacks this season. And as painful as it is to not have a chance, maybe, we don't know yet, to take one of these guys, just because you're in position to take one and you need one doesn't mean you should take one if he's not the right person. So I'm not backtracking in my stance of saying we should get a quarterback in the offseason, in the draft. But it is very important to consider if the guy that you're going to take with this pick is the guy. So that leaves us with 3 options now if we don't have the first or second pick. And this is where you guys need to comment and let me know what your thoughts are on these 3 options. Option number 1, this is in no particular order. We're picking outside the top 4 or whatever, and we have to trade up to get Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward, probably Sanders. Let's pretend we're picking 4. The Panthers are picking... No, that doesn't make any sense. The Patriots are picking 3. The Browns are picking 2. The Giants are picking 1. We're going to have to trade up with the Giants or the Browns, and they're going to ask for a lot. Maybe we can jump the Browns, and it's the Patriots we have to trade up with. So that's option 1. Do you want to trade a bunch of stuff? Assuming we're not in a position to take one of these guys. Option number 2. Run it back. Draft the best player available, sign T. Higgins, and get Najee Harris or whatever. Keep Scott Turner because he's been doing a pretty good job calling plays, or get a new head coach that can get creative with it. And give Aiden O'Connell the full season. I'm not saying I would want to do this. I'm saying this is now one of the options. Because when he's been able to play, and we're going to see what his numbers look like after a full 17 games because we're coming up on that. When he's been able to play, he's been at least in position to be competitive in every single game, especially when the roster isn't great. Now, I've said it before. We can upgrade at the quarterback position, and I think we should. But Aiden has definitely improved year 1 to year 2, and that is a potential option. I think it's the least likely option, but that is one. And the third option, which is probably the option that I'm most in favor of, draft the best player available and go all in on Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is in the prime of his career. Sam Darnold is leading Minnesota to a potential division win in maybe the hardest division in football. When it's all said and done, the Minnesota Vikings are going to have 14 or 15 wins. He's athletic, he's strong, he's smart, he's accurate. He's out there. He was a top 10 pick. You have the money to go get him for 3 years or whatever. I think that is the preferred option, in my opinion, at this point. And then the year after that, trade up for Drew Aller, or if Arch comes out, or if one of these other quarterbacks pops. Because this right now, if it's not Sanders, I'm not comfortable drafting Jalen Milroe with the 5th pick in the draft. I'm not comfortable drafting Cam Ward with the 5th pick in the draft. I'm not comfortable drafting Drew Aller with the 5th pick in the draft, even though he's not coming out anymore, and it broke my heart. Made me happy as a Penn State fan. You just now have to discuss all the options because we won a game, quote unquote, that we weren't supposed to win. And we all knew with Aiden starting, this was an opportunity for us to win a couple games here, which is ironic because he's supposed to stink, even though the people who thinks he stinks are the same people that are like, uh-oh, but he can win a few games. So I don't know where to go from here. Let's wait and see how the rest of the games in the season play out before we do anything rash. Let's see who our coach is next year. Going into the offseason, let's see what we're picking. If we have to go from 4 to 2, that's not going to be as bad as having to go from 7 to 2. But the Saints next week is another winnable game, unfortunately, for the people who want to lose. I might even be in that camp. I'm still not really of one mind yet. I see all outcomes. So, that happened. We won the game. Comment below your thoughts. Join that Discord. Link is in the description below. Join that Patreon, please. And please be sure to subscribe. It's free after all, no charge to you. I love you guys. Merry Christmas. And I'll see you next time.